So you wake up and get ready for your day. As you pass by your dining room, on your way to making a pot of coffee so you can get your day started, you notice poop on the dining room area rug under the table. No, not just one poop, but 3 different spots on that very same rug with poop. And it isn't the first or the second time that this has happened, and apparently for no reason. Then one night, after a long trying day, you get into your bed to go to sleep. It was a long day, a rough day, and you're tired. And before you turn out the light, your cat hops up onto the bed and slowly walks up to you with a look that it's like he knows what you're feeling. He moves up to your face and nuzzles his face right into your forehead, and he purrs. And your heart melts, and you pet him. His warm body settles down next to you, and he falls asleep. These are the moments that you live for with your sweet babies. And situations like these happen to cat guardians all the time. They test your patience and your temper, and then they melt your heart. Why these behaviors happen is not the focus of this video, because I haven't figured that out yet. Instead, I want to focus on the joys that your sweet cats add to your life, as well as the challenges that you might encounter. All of this to help you make an informed decision about welcoming a new feline friend into your home. Let's start with the joys of cat ownership. While I've experienced highs and lows in my long cat journey so far, for me, the joys far outweigh the challenges. So this is a great place to start for me. Let's talk about companionship. One thing that cat lovers, and even those who don't know very much about cats, understand is that they're known for their independent nature, but they also form strong bonds with their human companions. Their affectionate purrs, cuddles, and companionship can provide comfort and emotional support. If you've ever had a cat love on you, then you understand what that feels like. Cats love to play. From chasing laser pointers to batting around toys, cats are endlessly entertaining. I'll share a story that happened to me once about 15 years ago with my eldest cat, Maxie. Now, I liked to play hide and seek with her all the time back in the day. I would leave the room, and then she would invariably come look for me. And I would be hiding someplace dark. And we'd play this cat and mouse game a lot together. And it would get her all excited when I would jump out of the hiding spot when she found me. One night, after she found me, thinking the game was over, I went to take a shower before bed. As I was shampooing my hair, I heard the abrupt sound of what I thought was someone swinging my shower curtains open. I had shampoo in my eyes. I thought someone broke into my apartment. But when I did open my eyes, thankfully, all I saw was Maxie, who somehow managed to run into the bathroom, grab the shower curtains, and pulled them all the way back on me. At that moment, I was struck with fear and then immediately broke out laughing and said, "You got me." I mean, she got me. It was the funniest thing that ever happened to me in almost 20 years of living with a cat. Each cat has its own unique personality. They range from adventurous and curious to laid back and affectionate, and everything in between. Getting to know your cat's quirks and habits, just like getting to know other humans, can be delightful. There are certain responsibilities that go along with cat parenting. These chores range from daily ones like making sure they have fresh food and water and clean litter boxes. This is key because cats are very particular about clean litter boxes. Ignore it, and you're bound to find that they will avoid using the litter box in favor of clean spots, like on your carpets. Grooming is another chore, which can be very time-consuming if you have certain breeds, especially like Persian cats. It helps to establish routines for getting these things done when they're very young and more accepting of them. Don't forget about taking them to regular vet checkups and their vaccinations. Depending upon where you live, these visits can be costly. The first time I was told that my Maxie needed to have her teeth cleaned because they were covered in tartar, and I was handed a bill for nearly $500, imagine I was shocked. Visits to the vet are very important to keep your cat healthy, and if you budget for it, you'll be okay. Remember that cats are descendants of wild animals and still have a lot of traits of their ancestors within them, like hunting and catching prey. And if you live with an indoor cat, you need to provide these activities to keep them from getting bored. It helps to have various toys, scratching posts, climbing structures, and places to hide around your house so that your cat has room to be a cat. Keeping them mentally as well as physically stimulated can help reduce some of the destructive behaviors that can arise. Okay, all good so far. Now let's tackle some of the potential challenges that might come along with sharing your home with a cat. I have 2 cats, both the same breed, but one's a male, one's a female. The female, she was easy. She really wasn't very destructive to my home at all. As a kitten, she started to chew a little bit on some of my stereo system wires briefly. But I read that somehow cats don't like the smell of citrus. So I bought a citrus spray designed to discourage this behavior, and it worked. Maxie was never destructive again, and honestly, I can really never remember a time when she didn't use the litter box. Easy, very simple. Fast forward to my boy Jack, on the other hand, back in 2015. The story I mentioned earlier with the pooping on my dining room rug, that was him. He's been destructive to some of my furniture as well. But Jack is so lovable. He really causes all sorts of emotions in me, from intense love to intense frustration. My wife and I have tried so many things to resolve these problems over time. What has worked is that since we moved last year to a new place, Jack has gotten so much better. But why? I don't know. We haven't been able to find out. But we're thankful that most of this has stopped. Jack is all boy. He's a big 15-pound bruiser, and he's very rambunctious. It's this personality that makes you love him at the same time. If you've never lived with a cat like him, it's hard to explain. I can honestly say that when it comes to some of the behavioral issues, that we're still stumped by them. Luckily, for the last year plus, they've stopped. Let's talk about cat health. Cats are susceptible to various health issues, including dental problems, obesity, and urinary tract infections. Recognizing the signs of illness and seeking prompt veterinary care is crucial for maintaining your cat's health. I believe in only feeding my cats a high-quality diet, and as such, I've been lucky. They've been very healthy so far. But there have been a few costly trips to the vet, like teeth extraction for Maxie back when she was very young. That cost me over $500. Then a few years ago, her thyroid suddenly became hyperactive. The vet suggested a treatment of high radiation on her thyroid. She was in the hospital for 3 days, and they completely cured her of it. That cost over $1,000. But luckily, I had health insurance by then, and I got back more than $700 of that bill. This is something else that you might want to consider is the high cost of vet bills, and you might want to look into pet health insurance. It was a big help to me. Here's another issue we struggled with, and it still happens today. We adopted Jack when Maxie was about 8 years old. She was already used to being the sole cat in the house. My wife convinced me to get another cat, and I read up on how to introduce them properly before we did it to reduce these kinds of issues. Well, we did the best we could. And I suppose we got some things right, and some things maybe we could have done better. The outcome is that Maxie just doesn't like Jack. She avoids him, which is really hard to do. He'll drive her crazy. Sometimes she hisses at him. I think he gets a big kick out of annoying her. It's been going on now for the last 8 years. They don't hurt each other. They just stay out of each other's way for the most part. It's bad for them. I wish it was different, but I don't know how to change it, especially 8 years later. By the way, if you have a suggestion, please leave it in the comment section below. I'm all ears. Don't give in to impulses when you consider adopting a pet. Take it from someone with experience. You're making a commitment to love and care for these pets for the rest of their lives, to provide a safe, happy, and healthy life for them for many years ahead. This isn't the time to act on impulse. Before you act, honestly assess your lifestyle today and consider whether it's stable or not. Are you married? Do you have children? Do you want to add children to your life? Think about how changes you might want to make will be affected by this adoption. Your schedule, your lifestyle. Do you really have the time it takes to give to a new cat or kitten? Then consider the financial burden that adopting a cat will bring. There are going to be vet bills, money for quality diets, toys to keep them mentally and physically stimulated. Are you sure that you'll be able to afford the ongoing expenses of cat parenting? Finally, as I've been saying over and over, owning a cat is a long-term commitment that requires patience and dedication. Are you prepared to provide for your cat's needs and offer them a loving home for the rest of their lives? For me and my wife, parenting our 2 beautiful cats has been a fulfilling and enriching experience. But trust me, There are frustrations and a healthy share of responsibilities and challenges that you'll find along the way. You can't just give up on them because it's not convenient or fun anymore. By understanding the joys and potential difficulties of cat ownership, you can make an informed decision about whether it's the right choice for you and your family. If you're considering adding your first feline friend to your family, or adding a second or even a third, remember to approach cat ownership with care, patience, and a willingness to learn. Hopefully, this guide has helped you to decide if you should dive into the world of cat guardianship. I can tell you that our 2 cats have enriched our lives beyond what we could have ever expected or hoped for. And if you're ready to take that next step, then you should watch this next video, where we help you get a head start in the process. I'll see you there.